Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Almarie, for that warm introduction. And yes, spring is almost around the corner. But I hope wherever you are that you are healthy, that you are blessed, and yeah, just wishing you a beautiful morning. Everyone is here. If you're not here, sorry for you. You can watch the recording. But really, for those that don't know me, my name is Tamara Anhalase, and I've got a coaching and wellness business. And this topic is one of my favorite topics, right? It's really about finding calm in the chaos and using a tool, using mindfulness to manage our stress levels. Okay. We will definitely give you the recording. Thank you, Juma, for that question. So all our sessions with the SPH, with the Small Business Help Desk, is recorded and it will be shared with you if you registered. And then on the website, there is a whole host of libraries that you can access and watch and rewatch the recordings. Okay. So just a big thank you to Small Business Help Desk and Almarie and Keshni for sponsoring these masterclasses. They're free to you, whether you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, an employee. You know, this is really free of charge. It is tools and tips and insights that you get really for no cost at all. And I just want to say thank you for spending this next hour with me. I hope you find it beneficial. And like we said, if you look after yourself, you can show up wholeheartedly, presently, and we'll talk about being present, about mindfulness and how it can help you in your life. Okay. So today's topic is really about finding calm in the chaos. So I'm going to take you through some series of a bit of theory. We're going to talk about stress. We're going to talk about mindfulness in specific terms. What does it mean? We're going to give you some practical tools and tips and a little bit of evidence, a little bit of science, because I like to bring that into my presentation so that you know that what we're talking about is real, it's scientifically proven, and it does help you feel a lot better. So just a quick introduction. My name is Tamara. Most people call me Tams or T. I'm a coach. I'm a listed wellness counselor with the ASCHP. I'm a mindfulness practitioner and a master NLP practitioner. For those that don't know what NLP is, it's neuro-linguistic programming, and it's really about your mindset, your beliefs, your behaviors, and I just help people achieve the goals they want to achieve. Oh, so what are you going to learn today? Let me just go to the next slide. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about stress. Understand how stress affects our body, our minds, our emotions. We're going to talk specifically around mindfulness. So mindfulness is a tool. I'm going to teach you what it is. I'm going to teach you the basics. I'm going to hopefully get you excited about how you can use it to manage your stress levels. There's going to be some practical techniques. A lot of it is just being aware. So it's nothing difficult. It's simple, practical tools that you can use during your workday. When you're feeling triggered, when you're feeling stressed. I'll talk a little bit about the evidence, and there's a little bit of science, and then a practical plan for you to decide at the end of the day what works for you, right? Because not everything will work for everyone, and you need to find out what works for you. So with that, I'm going to start out with a quick assessment. So I want you, and it's very basic, I want you now to go get a pen, a paper, a notepad. If you like taking notes on your phone, that's also fine. It's a series of 4 questions, so nothing complicated, and you will get access to this presentation, but we're going to do a mindful stress exercise, right? It's a self-reflection technique. So everybody grab your pens, your papers. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. I'm going to give you like 10 seconds, right? 10, 9, awesome. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's your assessment. Okay, I'm going to read the questions out, and then you're going to rate yourself. Okay, so you're going to circle the number, or you can just write number 1, and my answer is X. I will read these statements. I want you to just see what makes sense to you. Okay, there's no wrong, there's no right. It's a very self-reflective exercise. But when I'm going to read out the question, and you're just going to put the number, right? So number 1. Awareness. Okay, so this question talks about your awareness. I want you to be honest and truthful. I notice early physical signs of stress before I feel overwhelmed. Rate yourself from 1 to 5, 1 being rare, 5 being always. So give your rating from 1 to 5. I'll read the question again. I notice early physical signs of stress before I feel overwhelmed. So you notice what happens in your body. So that's number 1. Jot down your answer. Okay, number 2, attention. I can stay focused on one task without my mind drifting. We also call that mind wandering. So number 2, give yourself a rating. 1 being rarely, 5 being always. Okay, question number 3, regulation. I want you to rate yourself between 1 and 5. The question is, when triggered, I can calm my body within a few minutes. Give yourself a rating there. So when you're triggered, can you calm your body down? And then number 4, I recover quickly instead of carrying stress for hours. 1 being rarely, 5 being always. Okay, so just write down your score. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to give you results and what it means. Okay, but we will talk about some of these things during today's session. And don't worry if you came in late. I see a couple of people have just been admitted. We will give you the recording. You will have access to the presentation. Okay. Can I move on? Can I give some thumbs up? Get some hearts. Yay. Okay, awesome. Right. So guys, I want you, thank you, Israel. Okay, I want you to tell me quickly, how deep is the mud? How are you feeling? And you can say to me, oh, the mud is deep today. And you're welcome to put in the chats, right? Just like as a reflection. How deep is the mud? How deep are you in the mud today? Is there mud or is there no mud? You're feeling good. And just notice this picture. You've got 2 doggies, a big doggy and a small doggy. All right. The question is, how deep is the mud? And the answer is, it depends who you ask. Okay. So with that, 2 people can have the exactly same stressful event. 1 person can break down and 1 person can be fine. Just want to see if there's chats. Coping, midway, deep. Oh, someone's deep in the mud. It was deep yesterday. Thank you, Chantal. Sibogani says deep. Amri says midway. Cherie says coping. Dominique said midway. Jason says coping. Oh, Jordan says neck deep in the mud. Okay, you're in the right place. Hopefully you get some tools and tips and techniques today to help you. Okay, so everybody, the mud is as thick as it is. And for different people, it will be thicker, slushier, harder. Maybe it's quicksand, maybe you're drowning. Okay, but no 2 people experience the same stressful situation the same. Okay, what happens normally in our brain, okay, is there's a prediction. Okay, we're not present. We're always worrying about what's coming in the future. Okay, so we're anxious about the future, or we're worried about the past. So we're overthinking about the past, and that usually makes us depressed. Okay, and it's very rarely that we're living in the present moment. Just some terminology I'm going to talk you through, and just for context. Okay, so stress is pressure from the external world. Okay, and our internal, okay, we need to control. I want you to think of a ship, right? If you're in a ship and you've got everything you need in the ship, and you're going towards a storm, okay? If you've got your anchor, if you've got your sail, you've got all your equipment, you should be okay, right? Going through the storm. If you're not internally in a calm state, okay, you're going to panic. You're going to worry about that storm, and it's going to get very bumpy on your boat. Another thing, stress is very important. Stress is useful. Stress is not bad. Okay. A lot of the times we think stress is bad. Okay. We need stress in our lives. Okay. So just notice there's stress, there's pressure. Pressure is the external demand. Stress is our response to it. And then stress, there's acute and there's chronic. We do need stress. It's when the stress is chronic and unmanageable, it affects us. Okay. So next slide basically explains it in a very nice, easy way. Okay. Your normal stress response, or your normal stress, okay, you've got a deadline, you need to present, you need stress, it makes you think, it makes you be on top of your on top of your game, and it's normal. We all get stressed, guys. It's the chronic unmanaged stress which doesn't switch off, that is ongoing, that's 24/7. You can't sleep, you can't eat, you're thinking about the next thing. Usually affects our mood, we're irritable, we're snappy. We need to manage, and we need to be aware when we get to that reactive state. Okay, so that ongoing unmanaged stress, it's going to cost you your health, your well-being. You are going to get chronic illnesses. It's been proven stress causes these reactions, these emotions, these hormones, too much of these hormones is not good for you. Okay. So, like I said, a little bit of theory so we can go into the tools and techniques. This next slide, okay, explains stress quite nicely. You can see the green part here, too little stress. Okay. We need a little bit of stress. Otherwise, we'd be too laid back. We wouldn't work. We wouldn't get up in the mornings. We wouldn't be motivated to do anything. We wouldn't go after our dreams, our goals, our desires. We need a bit of stress. It comes a point where there's our performance and increases, right? Because now we've got stress, we've got deadlines, we've got stuff to do. At some point this optimal stress, this is a good place to be. But when you get tired, okay, too much stress, and you get exhausted and you don't rest, okay, too much stress, not enough rest, it's chronic stress, it's overwhelming stress. What happens is we start panicking, we're exhausted, we're tired, we can't think straight because now we've got so much hormones in our body. Cortisol is increasing, our fight or flight is increasing. We are now getting angry with ourselves because we're making mistakes, our performance drops, and we get to a point of breakdown, burnout. Okay, I think a lot of us know what burnout is. Has anyone been at a point of burnout? You can just say yes or no in the chat. Okay, save space. I've been in points of burnout. Thank you, Jordan. Says yes. Okay, sorry, I went on to the next slide. Bernadette, yes, thank you for being open. Honest, it's a horrible place to be. Normally what happens when we're just about to burn out, we don't rest. We know we should rest physically, mentally, emotionally. We know we've given our all. We know we're exhausted. We know we're at breaking point and we don't rest and we're not aware with what's happening, but at some conscious level, we are aware and we choose to ignore it. Okay. So beautiful, beautiful tool that I'm going to take you through today. And it's a concept. And I'll explain mindfulness versus meditation. Let me just go to the next slide. There we go. So what is mindfulness? And a lot of the time they're confused between meditation and it's two different things. I just want to check the time. So mindfulness is a state of being. It's being in the here and the now. Okay, I'm going to read this quote by Jon Kabat-Zinn. Jon Kabat-Zinn is American. He comes from the West. He went to the East. He went and worked with the Tibetan monks. He was a scientist. He wanted to understand how can he help his patients that were mostly veterans from the time of the war. They had PSTD, so that's your post-traumatic stress syndrome, and they were very, very stressed people, and he wanted to help them. And he went to the West, and he identified, why are the monks so calm? and he realized, or he brought this philosophy back to the West and now uses it. And there's this 8-week course that you can do, which is called the Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction course. But basically what he says is paying attention. Mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in the present moment without judgment. And that's so difficult to do. How does it differ from meditation? And they overlap in some way, but they are different. Meditation is a structured practice. Okay, usually you sit down, you close your eyes, you focus on one thing. Mindfulness, okay, you focus, but you're paying attention to what's happening outside your body, within your body, in your mind, in your emotions. But the idea is there's no judgment and you're just in the present moment. So you are witnessing what is happening in that present moment. Okay. Everybody still with me? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. And we'll talk about ways to meditate. I'm going to focus on ways to do mindfulness. So ways to meditate. Thank you, Nichlachla, for that question. It's usually a structured practice where you close your eyes and you focus on one thing. It can be your breath. It can be scripture. It can be a deity. It can be an affirmation. You usually do it for a set amount of time. Okay. And every time your mind wanders, you go to that one thing. Where mindfulness is whatever's happening, it could be a lot of things. You are just witnessing. You're not labeling. You're not judging. Okay. And you can do it while you're eating, while you're walking, while you're not sleeping. Sorry, when you're working. Okay. And I will, during this session, I will give you some ways you can be mindful. Okay. So myths. I'm going to just take you through the next slide. So myths. Okay. So we can really understand the term of mindfulness and understand how it differs. A myth, okay, is in order to be mindful, we must empty our mind. No. It's about noticing the mind. It's about witnessing what's happening in the mind. Okay. Another myth, mindfulness requires hours and hours of meditation. No, you can do it a couple of minutes a day. Okay. It doesn't have to be ongoing. It's just when you feel the stress, when you feel overwhelmed, you notice what's happening. You take a moment and you can do it by breathing, by looking around, and I'll take you through some techniques, but it's really witnessing what's happening in that present moment. Number 3, people believe it's a religious practice. It's not. It's a cognitive training tool. It's just a tool, okay, to regulate your nervous system, to bring you to the present moment, to help you with that anxiety and that overwhelm, right? The thinking about tomorrow, okay, and the worrying about the past. It just brings you to the present moment. Okay, it's only for stressed out people. Another myth. No, it's not for stressed out people. It's a peak performance tool. There's been research that mindfulness can help us to be less reactive, less angry. It can regulate our nervous system. Okay, so I'll just read that one. How can mindfulness help with the stress? Because today is really about how can we use mindfulness for stress. Mindfulness reduces workplace stress, personal stress as well, but it makes you more sharp, more focused. It regulates your emotional nervous system, okay? And there's a gap that you need to create. What's happening when you are mindful is you stop whatever's happening in your mind, whatever's happening in your body, whatever's happening inside you, okay? And you become responsive rather than reactive. I did a masterclass. You will find it on the resources a couple of weeks ago with a small business help desk, really about reacting and responding. Okay, you can go back to that. But what happens when we stress, we react. Okay, our fight, flight response happens. There's this, we want to say something, or we want to do something. We want to respond to that text or that email, or we want to get aggressive. We want to, we get upset because something has happened. Someone has wronged us. But when we take a mindful pause, okay, we can notice what's happening. Okay, you're angry. Okay, someone pissed you off. Something happened that upset you. And now you can take a pause and then you can respond in a different way. Okay, everybody still with me? Can I see some hearts? Can I see some emojis? Okay, yay, everyone's with me. Okay, so just to go a little bit deeper. So what is mindfulness? Okay, high level, it's paying attention on purpose in a specific way. Okay, so I'll just go through the slides. Attention, it's noticing, it's witnessing your internal thoughts. Okay, and what's happening outside externally, okay, like the boat, okay, what's happening in the boat, what's happening on the ocean, okay, but you are present, okay, you're not wandering into the past or into the future. It's intentional, okay, it's on purpose, okay, so now you want to be mindful, you have to set the intention, okay, in a particular way, attitude, okay? So when we are mindful, we are curious, we're witnessing without labeling, without judging, we're just noticing the experience. And it's very hard because our mind usually is the cause of our stress, okay? Obviously, there's a physiological response, but most of it starts in the mind, okay? So mindfulness is a skill, it's trainable. Just like with exercise, with a muscle, you have to keep doing it. And every time your mind wanders, you need to bring yourself back to the present moment. And remember these things, paying attention on purpose in a particular way. Okay. Right. So 7 attitudes of mindfulness. This is based on the research. Okay. And I've got some nice images that you will have access to after this presentation. Okay. These are the attributes that we strive as mindfulness practitioners. Anyone can do them. It's impossible to do all of them. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, some of these are really, really hard, but they're philosophical terminologies that will help you and guide you when you want to be mindful. Okay, the first one is not to judge, non-judging. Guys, we're all judgmental here, right? Okay, we judge everything and everyone. And the idea when you want to be mindful is you don't judge. You don't judge yourself, you don't judge others, you don't judge the experience. Stop labeling, okay? So notice, I'm going to read this. So non-judging, notice your automatic labeling of experience, whether it's good or bad. You need to stop that, okay? And be very neutral, okay? Without listening to the stories that you're having in your mind in that present moment. Number 2, the other insight is patience, okay? Which is very difficult. I'm a very impatient person. I want things done now, yesterday, and if it's not done the way I want it, that's a problem, okay? So we try to be mindful. We aspire to these attributes. Can we allow things to unfold as it's meant to unfold in their own time, okay? Whether it's your own growth or somebody else's growth, or it's difficult. It's really difficult to be patient, but we try. Number 3 is a beginner's mind, okay? So you need to see every single moment as the first time, as you're witnessing something for the first time. Okay, let's say an emotion, okay, and it can be something as simple as gratitude. Oh, wow, I feel gratitude today. It's such a beautiful feeling. Sit in it, like notice it, witness it, as if it's the first time you've ever felt grateful in your whole life. Okay, number 4 is trust, trusting your own experience. not relying on external, right? Trust yourself, believe in yourself, okay? Again, it's difficult to do that when we're having a human experience, right? We want things a certain way. We want things now. We want things to turn out the way we want it. And you'll see a lot of these are interlinked. Okay, the next one is non-striving, okay? Pay attention when you're striving for a specific outcome and try not to have a specific outcome for whatever it is. Number 6 is acceptance, okay? Very hard. If you want to see things as they are in the present moment, without trying to control it, without trying to change the outcome. Again, see, interrelated. How can you be accepting? And sometimes bad things happen to good people, okay? Like, how do you accept that? And that's such a difficult thing to witness, but try and understand and see a different perspective. And we are all human here, and things are going to upset us and work us up. These are things we inspire to. It's not easy, okay? Maybe for one day you say, today I'm going to trust. And I'm just going to witness what trust is for me. Or today I'm going to be patient. Make sense? Seeing some hearts, thumbs up. Okay, the last one is letting go. Okay, let go of the thoughts when they are overwhelming, the feelings, okay? Allow it to pass. Amri was talking about, not, we have to go through the winter to get to spring. We have to go through the bad to enjoy the good, okay? Normally, we want to push the bad, okay? It's difficult. So these attributes are interconnected. I've got some beautiful, and these I'll share in the presentation. You can take pictures of them, but there's really, just a little bit about every single one. So it's non-judging, it's patience, it's beginner's mind, it's trusting, it's non-striving, it's acceptance, and it's letting go. And it's so difficult to do. Guys, if you just master one, you've arrived. Okay, so now we're going to talk about tools and techniques, and what can you do to be mindful? How do I actually do this thing that's called mindfulness tomorrow? Like, how do I actually do it? And it's hard. The idea is practice, and there's some tools you can use to regulate yourself to be more mindful. Okay, one of them, let me go to the next slide. Okay, so you've got these toolkits, and I'm going to explain some of them. So you've got the stop technique, okay, the psychological sigh, box breathing, okay, you can be mindful by breathing, 3-minute mindful breathing techniques. Another one is one of my favorites, which is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. Okay, so we can use these tools to be mindful in the experience of whatever we're experiencing in that present moment. Okay, so the next one, or the first one rather, is the stop technique. I mentioned earlier we have this reactive nature of humans. Something happens and we get reactive, and really we need to find a pause. We need to stop. Okay. You need to stop, no problem. We have somebody that's jumping to another call. Thank you. These recordings will be available. We need to stop when we are reactive, when we get that email, when we get that WhatsApp that upsets us, or when somebody cuts us off in traffic. Like, we need to stop and pay attention to what's happening, and then we can react in a different way. Okay, so I'll just take you through this. So you've got the stop technique. It's a 4-step process. It stops that automatic reaction, that stress response, right? Because when something happens, we stress. There's a reaction, we feed it in our body, our minds goes into overdrive, we overthink, we worry about the future, we worry about the past. When that happens, I want you to pause, and that's how you become mindful. You pause just for a moment, okay? You take a deep breath in, okay? So you take one deliberate breath in, and then you exhale out. And then I want you to notice, and we can do it now, like notice what's happening in your body. When last did you tune in with your body? Okay, notice your thoughts. Notice your emotions. What are you feeling? And you can label it. Okay. And if you can, label it. Don't be judgmental about it. That's mindfulness. And then you proceed. Okay. You continue with intention. Be it, I want to be more mindful. I want to be grateful today. I want to be more calm today. What is that intention? Okay. So use this stop technique. You pause. Okay. You stop what you're doing. You take a breath. You notice what's happening within you, outside of you, okay? And then you move on. That already makes you more responsive rather than reactive. Okay, the next ones we're going to do together, okay? Mindful breathing. So we can use the breath, okay, to basically bring us to the present moment, to the here and now. Okay, so I want everybody to take a deep breath in with me, okay, in through the nose. Another inhale in, and I want you to sigh out the mouth. You're going to do that one more time. So inhale through the nose twice. In again. And then exhale out the mouth, long exhale. Okay. Notice how you feel now. Okay. There should be a little bit of sense of calm. Okay. It's an immediate mindful technique to bring you to the present moment. Okay. Cool. So that brings down your stress response, which is the immediate fight or flight. What we're trying to do is we're trying to bring you into relaxation response, also known as rest and digest, okay? Parasympathetic nervous system. You want to relax that active, hyperactive nervous system. Okay, the other one is box breathing. We're going to do this together. Okay, so we're going to inhale. I'm going to explain it before we do it. Inhale for a count of 4. We're going to hold for 4 seconds. Okay, and we're going to exhale for a count of 4. If 4 is too much for you, please, I don't want you passing out. Do 2, do 3, whatever feels natural in your body. Some people, it doesn't work for them. Remember I said, take what works for you. I said that at the beginning of the session. Not everything is going to work for everyone. But if you feel comfortable to do it, let's do it together. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4. So inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Difficult for me to do it, to say it at the same time, but I'm going to guide you through it now. Okay, so I'm not going to do it. So inhale for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Normally we do that for 4 rounds, but this, what it does, it lowers that stress response. Okay. It brings you into a state of calm. Okay. It's being mindful of your breathing. Okay, usually this is a great one if you are very active, if something's upset you, just do a couple of breathing, walk away from whatever that situation is and do the box breathing. This is used by Navy SEALs, guys, so it is research proven. Okay, so now you've got a couple in your tool belt. You've got stop, you've got the psychological sigh, and you've got box breathing. Okay, the next one is your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, a little bit sad that we don't have icons, but I'll actually share one with Amri that's got the icons. It's quite nice. So I want you in this present moment, okay, to bring yourself into the present moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. I want you to now look around you for 5 things that you can see, and I want you to name them. Okay, so 5 things that you can see. I'll give you a moment. So for me, I've got 1. I've got a pen. I've got a mug. Got curtains. Okay, so just look around. 5 things that you can see. Everybody got that? Give me a thumbs up. Good. Now I want you to look for 4 things that you can hear. So listen. Okay, what are you hearing? Whether it's in the background, outside the room you're in, within the room you're in. Okay, so you'll label those 4 things. Then it's 3 things that you can touch. You actually touch them. Jersey. You're wearing something warm. Okay, maybe it's your pants, the chair you're sitting on. Maybe you're lying in bed. No judgment. Okay, notice and touch those 3 things. Good. Then I want you to take a deep breath in and then notice, what can you smell? Coffee, fresh air, a cup of tea, someone's baking, someone's cooking. Good. I want you to do this. Notice, what's the taste in your mouth? Notice one thing that you can taste in your mouth. Usually there is a taste. The last thing you've eaten, the last thing you've drunk. Okay, so this is a grounding technique or tool that brings you back into the present moment. What's happening is you are coming back into the here and now. And usually when you do this, you can't think about other stuff. You can't worry about the future. You can't overthink what happened in the past. It brings you to this present moment. And actually, from a scientific perspective, you're activating different parts of your brain because the sight sits in one place, the hearing sits in another place. Okay, so it brings you into this present moment. Okay, can I have a quick, how was those techniques? You can tell me, I liked 1, I liked 2, I liked 3, I liked 4, I liked all of them, I liked none of them. I won't judge you. Just put it in the chat. Which one did you like? You can just say, I like this. I like none of them. I liked all of them. 1 and 3. Thank you, Chantal. Oh, another 1 and 3. 1, 5, and 2. Awesome. And you have access to this recording. Okay, all good. Thank you, Coquette says, and I like to. Okay. All right. So the one that's not in here, okay, is this one. We're going to do it together, this mindful breathing. Okay. We're going to take not 3 minutes. I think we'll take 2 minutes. So where you are, okay, I want you to close your eyes if it feels comfortable for you. Okay. So we talked about stop. We talked about psychological side. We did the box breathing quickly. We did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it's the mindful breathing. We're going to do that together. Okay. So wherever you are, I want you to sit comfortably in your chair, feet flat on the ground. You can place your hands on your knees, facing up or down, your palms of your hands, whatever feels right. Okay. I'm just going to take you through a simple breathing, mindful breathing technique. You can close your eyes or you lower your gaze, okay, and keep it a little bit open, whatever feels natural and more like safe for you. Okay, so you're just closing your eyes or keeping your eyes slightly gazed, slightly open. I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose. And then I want you to exhale out the mouth. Normal, if your mind is racing, I want you to just notice and listen to me and then go back to your breathing. So inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Good. Another deep breath in through both nostrils. And see if you can witness what's happening in your body. So notice the path that the breath makes as it moves, both nostrils, back of your throat, into your chest. Maybe you can get the breath into your belly. And then I want you to exhale, let it go out the mouth. Good. Another deep breath in through both nostrils. Notice how the breath moves through your body, the back of the throat, into your chest, into your belly. And I want you to notice the pause between the inhale and the exhale. And then exhale, let it go. And with your eyes still closed, I want you to listen to the most furthest sound that you can hear. And then allow your awareness to jump from sound to sound. And practice this. Don't judge or label the sound. And if you do have thoughts, I want you to just come back to your breath. Notice the inhale and the exhale. And maybe you can use one of those attributes we spoke about as you do this technique. Focus on trust, on letting go, on acceptance, on non-striving. And then bring your awareness back to your breathing. Now with your eyes closed, I want you to picture the room that you're in. So visualize the 4 walls, the ceiling and the floor. And then I want you to take the biggest breath you've taken all day. Fill up your chest, your belly. And then let's do the psychological sigh where we exhale, let everything go out the mouth. And if you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and find yourself back here in the room with me. Good. How's everyone feeling? You can just put it on the chat. Relax. Thank you. And for those that need a moment to just bring yourself back to the present moment, it's okay. Calm. Thank you, Jason. All good. Great. Relax. Thank you, Nihlala. Feel lighter. Sigolomi. I'm glad that this helped you. Awesome. So you've got access to the recording. You've got these tools. You can try them. Oh, we've got Sue. Thank you, Tamara. You really made a huge impact with my present journey. Oh, you're welcome. Spending a few sessions with you. Awesome. So you've got access to this, guys. Let's move on. We've talked about stop. We've talked about mindful breathing. We did the psychological side box breathing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. And then I did a live breathing, mindfulness breathing exercise with you guys. Thank you so much. So we're going to just talk a little bit more theory and then more practicality of how can you use mindfulness in your day. We've got about 20 minutes. We've got good time. And I actually want to leave some time for questions. But this is just the evidence, the science. Okay. And I'll just very, very quickly just in order for you to know that this is really science-based, practical stuff, it is real. Mindfulness is being researched. If you just put mindfulness into Google, mindfulness in the workplace, mindfulness and stress, you'll get so much results. But a large body of the evidence literally says mindfulness and meditation programs helps us lower our stress. It regulates our nervous system. It helps us with anxiety and depression. For workplace specifically, there's been so many researches done specifically for the stress, the burnout, the mental distress. Overall, the after effects are around for about 3 months after the studies are done. And all these studies showing consistency across all levels that mindfulness helps us with our stress levels. It helps us to be more aware of what we're experiencing. It helps us be less reactive, especially if we use those 7 attributes, right? To be patient, to non-strive, to just all of those. If you can just embody one, imagine how different your life would be. Okay, so now how do we bring mindfulness into our everyday lives? Okay, the idea is whatever the experience is in that present moment, we need to look at it from an angle of, I'm just witnessing, okay? But how do I do that? Usually habits stick when we have an existing trigger. So in the work I do, I talk about NLP and I talk about triggers. Almarie and I were talking about it yesterday. Usually it's doing something specific with another action that makes it habitual, okay? So for example, just saying I'll be mindful doesn't work, but maybe you'll say, I'll be mindful when I have a cup of tea. I'll be mindful when I open my laptop. I'll be mindful when I'm commuting in the taxi. Okay, I'll be mindful when I'm opening my emails. I'm not going to react and answer all of them. I'm just going to read them, jot down what I need to action. Okay, walking into a meeting, when I'm having my lunch, okay, I'm going to be more mindful. Okay, so find the trigger. When are you going to be mindful? When you're reactive, what do you do in order to bring yourself into the present moment? And you can use some of those tools and techniques that I gave you. But there's activities you can do. And there's so much research, again, like what can you do to be more mindful? Let's skip this. Okay, these are some ideas. Mindful walking, okay, also known as forest bathing. Okay, so when you go on a hike, when you go on a walk, notice the trees, the leaves. Okay, feel the wind. Notice the sun, okay? Maybe it's a path you take every day, but then you say to yourself, I want to be mindful. I want to notice something I didn't notice before. Number 2 is mindful eating. A lot of us, we eat in a rush. We eat in front of the TV. We eat on our phones. Like, put the phone away, okay? That's already the first thing. Slow down. Taste, smell. Notice the texture. Okay. You also notice when you're full a lot more quicker, because what happens when you eat quickly, your stomach and your brain, like they don't realize that they're not synced. It needs 20 minutes to realize you've eaten enough. Okay. So mindful eating is going to help you lose weight. The next one is mindful listening. And with that is mindful communication. A lot of the workshops I do, I bring that in, mindful communication. Let's listen to our client. Let's listen to what our person across the table is saying to us. Let's put the phone away. Notice their eye color. Okay, listen to the conversation. Notice their pitch. You can see in their face if they're stressed. Are they calm? Okay, really listen to what the person is saying. Put away all the judgments for a moment and just literally be there with them. Be present in the here and the now. Okay, try not to interrupt. Try not to think of the next answer. Just witness what's happening. Okay, the other one is nature awareness. Okay, go outside for 2 minutes. Notice, again, similar to the mindful walking. Notice the sun, notice what you see, notice what you smell, notice what you hear. Okay, you can do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 outside rather in the house. Okay, a mindful ritual. Okay, like I mentioned, the coffee. Be mindful the next time you have a cup of coffee. Put the phones aside. If you're married, if you're a partner, if you're having a conversation with someone, like Like really, really have a genuine connection with that person while you're having a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. And the next one is mindful journaling or mindful gratitude. Okay. Journal, like notice or document one or two things at the end of the day that was really, beautiful for you. Okay. What are you grateful for? That's mindfulness. You're noticing. Okay. You're not judging, you're not labeling. You're just noting what happened. Okay. Is everybody still with me? Can I see some hearts, emojis? All right. So we did an assessment in the beginning. Okay. And I'm going to give you your results. Okay. So I'm just going to go back to the questions. So it was 4 questions. Number 1 is awareness. I notice early physical signs of stress before I feel overwhelmed. Just rate yourself if you came in a bit late. 1 is rarely, 5 is always. Where are you in the continuum? Number 2 is attention. I can stay focused on one task without my mind drifting or wandering. Rate yourself from 1 to 5, 5 being always, 1 being rarely. Regulation, when triggered, I can calm my body within a few minutes. Rate yourself from 1 to 5. And then recovery. How quickly do you recover? Recover quickly instead of carrying stress for hours. Give yourself a rating from 1 to 5. Okay, so if you tally that up, it's going to give you a result. I'm going to reveal your results now. Dun, 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 go back to your notes. Okay, I want you to count the results. Okay, so if you rated yourself 1, 3, 4, 5, add them up together. Let's give you your results. Okay, and you're welcome to take a picture. You have access to the presentation and the recording. But if you got between 4 and 8, that's a red line zone. Okay, that means you're running on stress autopilot for most of the time. You're not aware of what's happening. You need to do small, consistent practices. Okay, like what we did today, just to notice when you're stressed, to bring you to the present moment. Okay, so that you're less reactive. Number 2 is between 9 and 14. That's building resilience. Okay, so you maybe have already some tools, maybe you're already practicing mindfulness in your life. Okay, a little bit more, you can get to the next part, which is if your results between 15 and 20, you are grounded and you are resourced. Okay, so you're managing your stress well. Okay, today obviously just gives you a little bit more of awareness. Okay, and gives you and yourself and your teams, and hopefully you've got, you've invited other people to the session, but you've got these resources and you know these resources and you're already using these resources, therefore you're grounded and resourced. Okay, so guys, how do we make this real? Okay, I need you to put a personal commitment for yourself. Okay, before we close, I want you to choose, okay, these 3 things. I want you to say to myself, this week, I'm going to be mindful when, and you decide, when I'm walking, when I'm eating, when I'm working, when I'm checking my emails, okay, before I go to bed, when I'm journaling. Okay, so you need to say to yourself, I will be mindful this week when I do X. And then I want you to say, I will use, and which tools are you going to use when you feel stressed? Okay, you can decide what are the tools that you chose from today. And then I want you to notice after 1 week, okay, so next week is the 12th of August. I want you to put in your diary an alarm that goes off so that you can rate yourself if there was a change when you were mindful for this week. Does that make sense? So we are setting intention. Remember, we have to be on purpose. We have to set intention. That's the mindfulness way. Okay. So everybody do your personal commitment. Write it down. If you feel like sharing, you can put it in the chat. Okay. This quote by John Kabat-Zinn says, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. Okay, just like being on that boat. What tools do you have on your boat? Do you have your anchor? Do you have your sail? Do you have everything you need when you go onto the ocean and the ocean is rough? Okay, you've got these tools, use them. The thing is to remember to use them. Oh, we got Floors. Daniel Adams says, breathing when stressed. Love it. Okay, I have got a little poem, okay, that I'm going to read out. I love this poem. And it actually talks about being mindful of feelings of what happens. Okay, so I'm going to read it and you're welcome to take a picture of it. But this is by Rumi, okay, the philosopher. I think he's a philosopher. Zanele, eating, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, grounding, be present. Love it. So I'm going to quickly read this. You can read it also with me if you want. Beautiful, beautiful poem by Rumi called The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house. empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them all at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to give a moment to questions before I just share my details. Absolutely. Thank you, Alf. So in the shop, you've got the option to book time with me. You get 30 minutes free as a coaching session. And then there's also resources that you can purchase for less than a cup of coffee. It's literally like 45 Rand for like guided meditations. You've got a grounding body scan. I've also got a meditation for negative thoughts, so that you'll download once and you've got access for the rest of your life, and you can listen to it over and over. So I think I've got about 3 meditations on the shop that you can buy. And then you obviously got the through the small business help text, you've got access to book time with me. And if you want to work with me, I mean, I work with organizations. So I do masterclasses, workshops, one-on-one executive coaching. And then I do for individuals, I do this one-on-one work, which is wellness counseling, NLP coaching sessions for mindsets, behaviors and beliefs. And then I do experiences where there's retreats, for burnout, for stress. And really, I'd love to work with you. Anyone here that wants to just set up the time here, you can scan the QR code and then I'll get basically an email. All you do is you fill in your email and your name and your cell phone number. Okay.